Hi everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and we are doing an unboxing of the Halloween Oracle. This is a deck that is new to me, very new to me in terms of I've never owned it before. I know it's been around quite a while, and I have hesitated getting this deck because I thought it might be a little too what's the word? I'm not so into themed decks, so I don't know. We'll see how I get along with it. But before I open that, I wanted to kind of show off my new crystal babe that came to me that I ordered for myself because I sold out all of my green calcite. And I didn't save any for myself, which is fine, but then I really missed it, and that's when I knew it was like a crystal I needed to have back in my collection. So I got this beautiful piece. As tried as I might, I tried to find it on the ground, out here, and I couldn't find green calcite that I really loved, and then I found this piece, and look at the rough piece emerging from this tumbled piece of green calcite. It's just so beautiful. And I got it from, I was trying to see, oh, here we go. The Wingo Star Jewelry.etsy.com. So I'll put the link in the description box, but very great prices, beautiful stones, substantial stones too. I mean, this is a hefty piece. It's quite a hefty piece. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So, and then it came with this bag of tea, organic herbal tea. It says pretty good, juniper, berry, green, rooibos, hibiscus, and dandelion. Get you glowing. I'll have to try that. And then it came with a couple of cards. And then it had this beautiful postcard. Self-love. Just in time for Self-Love September. So I thought that was cool. It says Wingo Star Jewelry, and they do jewelry repair as well as selling stones and jewelry pieces. So that came today. I've been looking forward to receiving this. And then I've been waiting for this. I bought this deck second hand, but from a bookstore that I ordered online. Oh, so at least they shrink wrapped it. That's cool. I don't know if maybe it was already new but sold secondhand. This is a Blue Angel deck. This over here. I decided, though, that I am going to embrace Samhain and Halloween this year. Normally, I kind of rebel against it. I don't know why. Maybe, again, I just don't like just the cliche things of it all. But I'm feeling differently this year, and I'm feeling like a call to have more earthy colored decks and more decks that really remind you of that nostalgia of Halloween, of yesteryear, and of the Halloween that I plan to make, the memories this year. So I was like, I can have a little kitsch in my life, even if this deck is a little kitschy. And I don't get the impression that it is from all the photos and videos that I've seen, and I've watched so many. I don't get that impression at all. Actually, I get the impression that this is quite a good deck because a lot of people have said nothing but good things about it. I've only seen a few negative things about it, and you know, as far as reviews go. Here are the backs. They're glossy. Blue Angel standard size deck. Here's the box. So yeah, I am going to be working with some fall decks, some decks that I'll be working with the earlier part of fall, mid part of fall, and then the ending part of fall going into winter. We'll play around with that. Now in my collection, I finally have enough decks where I can do it seasonally, which is cool. We'll see how that goes. Sorry, I'm just trying to loosen them up so they're easily able to look at. Here's the guidebook. It's new to me. I know it's probably not new to you all. But like I said, I really hesitated on getting this deck. So I worried about, you know, let's turn over this way. Start from the A's. Ancestors. The love and legacy of our DNA. I love that. Definitely will be using this deck this fall. Apple, risk and reward. OMG, loving that too. Barmbrack, sweetness and synergy. The bendability. You know I like to rifle shuffle, and this works for me. I'm wondering how good it will shuffle. I know it's bendy enough to do a good shuffle, so we'll see how it works with the size of this deck. Black Cat, fortune meets opportunity. Cauldron, synergy and healing. Dawn, the light after the darkness. Oh my goodness, I am loving the keywords and the images. Death, the eternal cycle begins here. I don't know why I didn't want to get this. I mean, it would always go back and forth year after year on my wish list. And it went on my wish list this year, and I was like, I'm feeling kind of like I want to work with fall decks this year and see how that goes for me. And this one seems like a perfect one to play with some of my other decks, and we'll probably be seeing it in some tarot combos. Eternal love. Love is love is love. Oh, I love that. Love is love is love. And it transcends physical death. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's amazing. And I didn't say who this wonderful deck is by. Stacey DeMarco. This, you guys, also is, I believe, one of my first Stacey DeMarco decks. And I have quite a few decks now. But I'm now getting really picky because I have to. I have to be really picky. But since I saw that a lot of people had this deck, I said, I'm feeling like I can really appreciate it now. I think it should come into my collection now. And then I found it for a good deal online, but of course, the bookstore that was selling it used the slowest shipping possible. So it took like 2.5 weeks, almost 3, from Michigan to California. I'll just leave you all with that thought. It shouldn't take that long. Forgiveness. Reducing burden. I love that. I love that. Reducing burden. Ooh, powerful. Can't wait to do a video on what decks I'm going to be using for my fall. The beginning, mid, and ending part of my fall. Ghost, regret. And I can't wait to see what others are using for their fall decks. Graveyard, unnecessary fear. Oh, I love that. And I don't know why I rebelled against this deck for so long. For so long. I am that one. I watch The Walking Dead. I watch American Horror Story. I watch ever since I was a little girl. One of the first movies I remember as a little girl was The Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I love horror. Love it. You know, I watch, you know, Night of the Living Dead. That was just like, I love that, you know, horror, and that's, you know, and now I love psychological thrillers, and I love all of that. And I love a little gore. Hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. So it's funny to me that I just was like, no, I don't want this. Everybody got it, and I don't know if people are really using it. And what am I going to do with a deck that I only use once a year? But I don't get a sense of that. I hear a lot of people saying you really could use this deck throughout the year, and I could see, based on the beautiful images and the wonderful keywords, that that's possible. Invisibility, authenticity. Oh, I love that. Jack-o'-lantern, protection. Joy, rejoicing in the present. Oh, beautiful. Lady de los Muertos, acceptance and equality. The lamp, remembrance. Oh, gorgeous. Midnight, the most magical hour of all, and I agree. Mummy, change. And I love, like, what people have pointed out that I've noticed about this deck too is that it will transition nicely throughout my fall into the winter. And really, yeah, you could use it in the summer and spring. I probably, knowing me, won't, but maybe I will. We'll see how I, you know, carry on with it this fall and winter. But it's like this song, this Night Song card makes me think of the winter. It says, Night Song, hidden talents. I think of winter when I see this card, and this one too. Owl, wise seeking, wise action. Oh, I love this one. Scrying, intuition. Scrying. Skeleton, strength. Skull of darkness, blind spots. Oh, I love that one. Or at least the idea of it. Blind spots. Skull of flowers, creating thoughts, creating through the ashes. Skull of flowers. Skull of light, illumination. Skull of stars, infinite possibilities. spider, community, and web weaving. Trick or treat, mischief and play. I like that. Okay, so yeah, it's like very Halloween themey, but I don't mind it for some reason. I actually enjoy it. Oh, I love pomegranate. Oh, the underworld where all things pause and begin again. Vampire, emotional intelligence. The veil, the future. Thinning of the veil this time of year, right? Werewolf, exploring wildness. Winter, the sacredness of pausing. I love that. The sacredness of pausing. Oh, I could sit with that for a moment and just relish in that thought. The witch, the earthy weaver of the worlds. Finally, zombie. My favorite monster of all, control, or lack thereof. Oh, guys, I'm digging this deck. I'm afraid I am. It shuffles nicely. Ooh, trick or treat, mischief, and play. Having fun. Getting out there for the sake of fun. The lamp, remembrance, that nostalgia, getting back to remembering just remembering the good times, the mischief. Having fun with friends, reminiscing with friends, making time to do that. Trick or treat. Oh, let's see what the guidebook says. It's like a little poem. Stalking and stomping, eyes shining and begging baskets. Faces and bodies that are no longer ours, laughing skeletons in candy caskets. Trick-or-treating is such a fun thing to do, is it not? Yet, why do we trick-or-treat? Ancient peoples understood that there were both mischievous and perhaps nasty spirits wandering around at nightfall, at Halloween, as well as happier, more benevolent spirits. They thought that if they dressed as spirits themselves, or other frightening creatures, then they would not be recognized as human and attacked. The idea of causing a little chaos as one of these quote-unquote spirits was part of the imitation and the enjoyment of the night. The practice in medieval Britain was aptly called souling. Today, trick-or-treating is a huge event. We spend much time, money, and effort dressing up as our scariest creatures, and this has even extended to dressing up as our favorite celebrities and other pop culture idols. Instead of traditional candy apples and barmbrack, we give out a mind-boggling variety of candy. It matters not, the idea of frightening away death and darkness still stands. I believe that the modern trick-or-treating also unites communities by introducing our families and friends to those around us in a non-threatening and joyful way. Many of us do not know our neighbors, even those who live next door, and Halloween gives us an excuse not to be so reserved and extend our boundaries. Should you receive the trick-or-treat card in your divination, It may well be a time to examine the role of play and mischief in your own life. You don't have to be a child to let go and have some playtime, and you can extend the fun to others. Sometimes we are afraid to make mistakes, and play is one way to alleviate the pressure that we sometimes place on ourselves to get everything perfect every time. Alternatively, it is worth knowing that there is a balance between manipulation and mischief. The former is not pleasant, and the other has, at its core, a sense of irreverent fun. So, folks, be about mischief, not manipulation. Remembering the times when we hung out with our neighbors and just those good old times, and maybe getting back to that as a society as a whole. Kind of lost that connection, that community connection, that play, that sense of playing for the sake of playing, for the sake of getting together in community. You are in need of that, as we see with the lamp. It's like illuminating that for us to tap back into as the collective, as the whole. I'm not going to read the guidebook for time's sake, but yeah, I am digging it, you guys. I'm digging my new stone, my new green calcite, and I now have a new seller I can go to for my stones as well. And then I can also, give a shout out to, thank you. And because the Lord knows I looked high and low for my green calcite around here. Not to be found. But of course I can trust my little handy dandy Etsy. Alright, you all. Thank you so much for watching. Much love. Many blessings. Bye.